For the last time, I'm telling you to divorce me because I already have a new girlfriend. I realized after I started staying at home that you're throwing away your femininity too much. I thought you were pretty for your age, but you're always without makeup, see? And now look, I find myself unable to live with a bitch like that from now on. There's no point in being with you other than having you take care of the house, huh?
What the? That's what I should be saying! You're freaking over 65 and become so sloppy that way in this way! I can't believe you'd say you don't feel like I'm a woman! Hello, my name is Yayoi, and I am a housewife who's almost 51. I wasn't blessed with any children with my husband, Masahiko, but we were both busy with work, so we didn't really feel any inconvenience.
Hey, Yayoi, some tea, please.
Coming! This is my husband, Masahiko, and I've been married to him for about 26 years now. He's about to retire and recently started to digest the stress he's been building up by using his accumulated paid leave, but...
Hey, why is lunch not ready yet?
Ah, you're still here at this time. I forgot.
Hey, now, I've been working hard up until now. Could you pamper me a little at least?
Sorry, honey. I just got home from work too, so...
All right, I get it. Bring the tea.
Can't you make it? No, never mind. Just wait a minute. Up until now, we were both busy with work and didn't have much to spend time together on, so I didn't notice, but... Huh? As I spent more time with him at home and lived in closer quarters to him, so to speak, I naturally started to notice all the things I didn't like about him. And I'm still working, damn it. Masahiko was going to retire soon, but I'm not going to retire until later on. When we were both younger and working hard, I did all the housework too, but I had a faint hope that after he retired, he would help me out at least a little. I'm not young anymore too. I'm home! Hey, Masahiko! Oh no, not again! There he was, taking a nap in the living room, surrounded by the mess he initiated with scraps of food and half-read books sprawled everywhere. Hey, Masahiko!
What the hell? Don't shout like that!
Could you explain the state of this room to me?
What? What's wrong with it?
No, how can you possibly make the room so messy in just one day every day, eh?
It's just a little messy. Clean it up, will ya?
He only had a few months left until he retired, and every time he had a paid day off, he would just tell me what to do as if he was a king. Did he do anything himself? Hell no, he did not. Look, you've worked so hard for so long until now, and I thought you were tired every evening, so I've been doing everything for the past 26 years in this house that you left all chaotic and messy. And I've also been holding back for the past 6 months, thinking I'd pamper you a little, but I want you to help out around the house soon, alright, Masahiko?
What the hell? You do know I've been working for your sake for 26 years, right?
Masahiko didn't seem to be happy and started throwing a tantrum like a child. I'm still working too, aren't I?
A part-time job and a full-time salary are completely different, aren't they?
It was true that Masahiko's pay was certainly better, but the hours we worked didn't have that much of a difference. If we included the time I spent doing housework, I've been working longer hours than him by far. Anyway, you'll be spending more time at home after you retire, so please help out around the house a little. Do you understand? When I told him that, Masahiko sighed and said something completely unexpected.
Huh. Yayoi, let's get a divorce.
Yes, a divorce. Wait, excuse me?
Actually, I thought I'd wait until I retired, but...
Then he turned to me and told me something even more outrageous.
I have a baby on the way. It's due next month, so please divorce me.
I was so surprised that my mind went blank and I froze where I stood.
Wait a moment.
Masahiko said and went off somewhere. It was such a sudden turn of events that I couldn't keep up with it at all. He said, and I quote, "I have a baby on the way. It's due next month, so please divorce me." Of course, I wasn't pregnant, so the child he was talking about was one he had with another woman. Is he cheating on me? I have to calm down. I racked my brain trying to unravel the logic of this statement that didn't make any sense. Then a few hours later, Masahiko came home. I heard voices from the front door that weren't his, so I feared the absolute worst while hoping for the best and sneaked a peek. Don't mind if I do.
It's small, but please make yourself at home.
What? And there stood Masahiko, his hand upon the waist of a young woman. What's more, the woman was moving her hand across her swollen belly. I immediately knew she was the one he was cheating on me with. Hey!
Yayoi, prepare some tea, okay?
Freaking do it yourself! I was astonished at Masahiko for bossing me around even at a time like this, but I prepared tea as I was told to because I wanted to listen to what these two pricks had to say.
So I'm gonna submit the divorce forms along with our marriage registration, so fill this in, will ya?
After I'd finished preparing the tea, he said that as he handed me a divorce notice. Wait a minute, what's all this? This is all so sudden that I can't understand what all of this means. However, Masahiko said without a smile,
For the last time, I'm telling you to divorce me because I already have a new girlfriend. I realized after I started staying at home that you're throwing away your femininity too much. I thought you were pretty for your age, but you're always without makeup, see? Now look, I find myself unable to live with a bitch like that from now on. There's no point in being with you other than having you take care of the house, huh?
That's what he told me, almost as if he was laughing at me. What the? That's what I should be saying. You're freaking over 65 and you become so sloppy that way and this way. I can't believe you'd say you don't feel like I'm a woman. And also, how can you expect me to see you as a responsible man when you've always refused to have a relationship with your spouse because you were either busy or tired? It's not like I stopped striving to better myself right from the beginning of our marriage. Rather, I thought that our relationship wasn't progressing, so I used my meager salary and unnecessarily abundant time to go to beauty salons and fitness centers to improve my exterior appearance. However... Hey, Masahiko!
I'm tired, Yayoi. Ask me another time.
Every night, he made the same excuse and kept rejecting my efforts. If that continued for more than 20 years, who wouldn't lose their hopes and expectations of Masahiko and stop trying to act like an attractive woman in front of him? Nice to meet you. My name is Maki. May I inquire as to how you met my husband? 6 months ago, was it? I met Darling Masa when I was going to do an internship at his company. Darling Masa? Wait, 6 months ago? Does that mean you're a student? I'm a lively female college student at MoniRobo University, ma'am. From what I heard from this girl, about 6 months ago, she was one of the students who went to Masahiko's company as an intern, and there she met my husband, who was among those instructing the interns, and it developed into something more. It's crazy to think that an old man who was about to retire would make a move on a woman in her early 20s. I felt the little feelings I had for Masahiko fading away into abysmal obscurity. And more than anything, 6 months ago. I'm kinda sorry, to be honest. Seems like I stole him away from you. Oh, sure. But it's only natural that a cute young girl like me would be chosen over an older woman like you, isn't it? Hey? As expected of the strong-willed Masahiko, perhaps, this girl didn't hesitate to pack a punch. I could tell from her words and her relaxed posture upon the couch that she was oozing confidence, with her legs crossed and sitting tall. And I suppose you like girls who have no common sense or discretion, who would make a move on a man who is as old as her father.
Hey, Age doesn't matter. This is love, sweetie, love. I wanted to marry Maki soon, even if it was just a single day sooner. But I felt sorry for you, so I decided to wait until I retired, see? But you just kept on complaining.
The fact he had the audacity to only talk about his own convenience. I was so shocked and disillusioned, I couldn't say a word.
I don't want a useless woman like you who's not young, not competent at the housework, and makes it her job to nag me day in and day out.
Yeah, I no longer had any attachment to Masahiko, so I wanted to pick things up and get away from those two goddamn scumbags. But Masahiko seemed to think that it sounded like sour grapes. I know now that understanding you is just not possible.
Then there's no problem, huh? Just hurry up and sign the divorce papers.
Sure, but before that, I asked the girl he was having an affair with a few questions clearly, just to make sure. Did you know that Masahiko was married? Did you have a relationship with him anyway? If you knew, you know what your position is, right? And lo and behold, the girl sitting next to him, all arrogant and confident, burst out laughing.
Of course I did, old witch! You'd get dumped, and I'd be Dear Moss's new girlfriend, right?
Well then, of course, you know that I'll be charging you alimony, right?
What?
And I took out the recorder from my pocket. I was panicking, but I knew that Masahiko was going to do something after this, so I prepared something to leave evidence in case anything terrible or convenient happened. Hide the camera right here. Oh, and prepare an audio recorder just in case. To suppress any opportunity for the evidence to get destroyed out of spite or anger, I prepared several methods. This way, if anything happens, I'll be fine in the end. When I showed her the recorder, she looked clearly annoyed.
Masa, darling, this bitch is freaking annoying!
I've thought about that, so don't get so angry. It's not good for the baby in your belly, sweetie.
But this freaking hag!
That scary face doesn't suit you, Maki, darling.
Aw, darling!
As I was distorting my face at the disgusting exchange between the two sacks of shit, Masahiko said to me,
Here you go. If the divorce is on these terms, there'll be no complaints, right?
The document included the terms of the divorce, such as alimony and pension division. Exactly what I was thinking of, actually.
What? You're going to give this old lady that much alimony?
The document did say 50 million yen, which was a lot even for alimony.
No, no, no! My lovely money's going to disappear!
My first thought after hearing those words was that this bitch was after Masahiko's money and not his love. I guess the only thing that's attractive about this boring old gas bag is his money, huh?
Well, now, I'll get my inheritance soon from my father, and I'll have a decent amount of retirement money, so we'll have no problems with it. I have no choice if we want to break up without any repercussions.
Well, sure, but...
As I was listening to their little conversation there, I realized she knew about the inheritance, and my hypothesis on her being after his retirement money and inheritance, which I'm currently taking care of legally, solidified.
We don't want her to cry and follow us around for the rest of my life, do we?
But that's my money!
Love is blind, of course. She was so obviously after his money, but Masahiko didn't seem to notice whatsoever. I understand. Under the condition that these documents are officially notarized, I'll divorce you. Also, I never want to see your pathetic faces again, so please pay in one lump sum. And so we were able to get divorced. We'd have to draw up a notarized document before we would divorce, which would take some time, but it still felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. Well, I'm leaving now.
Bye-bye!
I took the bare minimum of my belongings and left. Soon after, we were officially divorced, and they filed for marriage that very same day. Meanwhile, I was enjoying a comfortable life alone in my new apartment. In 2 months, Masahiko would be retiring. He was most likely waiting for his retirement money and inheritance. That's when I made a certain phone call.
Hello?
Oh, Masahiko, it's me.
What the hell? I've already paid enough for the alimony!
Oh, I'm not asking you to send more money.
Then what the hell do you want?
I was just in the mood to tell you some good news.
Some good news?
Yes, about 2 things. Masahiko was wary about the fact that I would ask him for more money, but I didn't care and continued. Masahiko, do you know about the 10 months, 10 days system?
What are you on about?
Exactly what I thought. They say that the 10th day of the 10th month is the amount of times it takes a woman to give birth. Well, it can be around 9 months for some people, so it's not an absolute number, but...
What are you talking about?
You still don't know. When is the baby due to be born?
Well, 3 months ago we conceived a child, and it's been a while, and the baby will be born very soon. Wait.
It was horrifying to think that I'd been with such an ignorant bastard for 26 whole years, for he only noticed after I told him a few hints. Even over the phone, I could tell that Masahiko was starting to get upset.
But my lovely Maki said...
And in a tone that sounded like I was deliberately mocking him, I said, if the baby is really going to be born after 3 months, maybe this lovely Maki of yours isn't human. On the other hand, if she is human, could the child really be yours? And then Masahiko forgot he was at work and started screaming at me over the phone.
Are you saying my lovely Maki is lying? She's always been so obedient, listening to everything I've said ever since she was an intern here. That same woman came to me crying, saying she wanted to have my child. There's no way she could be lying.
I replied calmly to the indignant Masahiko. You see, there's no way any human baby would be born in 3 short months. Even during that discussion last month, you said it would be born next month. If you two only met 6 months ago, the calculations just don't add up.
What? But, no! But my lovely Maki said...
It's true that there is such a thing as premature birth, but babies just do not come at 3 months. It's also impossible to know about premature birth months in advance.
What? In that case...
You should be able to realize that it's simply impossible. Oh, and your father's inheritance won't go to you, you know.
What?
Before the divorce, I was the one who handled the procedure regarding his father's estate. But what consisted of that estate was nothing but a huge amount of debt. It turned out that the only thing Masahiko needed to do was to renounce his inheritance. As it turned out, Masahiko had cashed out his father's belongings before he abandoned his rights to inherit, so he was no longer legally entitled. As a result, he was left with only debts and no assets whatsoever. Masahiko, you pushed all the troublesome tasks from the housework to the inheritance procedures onto me, and you didn't listen to anything I had to say, did you?
Well?
You got what you deserve since you started using your father's assets to pay off your alimony to me. I told him straight out, sarcastically.
But if it was something so important, you should have made me listen to you until I understood!
I sighed deeply. You were the one who didn't listen when you should have, and this is what happened as a result of that, so you should take responsibility for it yourself. You were the one who created the situation in the first place, both with the inheritance and the affair.
Damn it!
So Masahiko couldn't receive any inheritance and ended up with only the debt. And what was more, because he made such a fuss about it in the workplace, someone had evidently eavesdropped on the conversation, and rumors spread throughout the company that he had not only made advances on an intern and had an affair with her, but that he had impregnated said intern who was almost the same age as his daughter. He was publicly slandered in the end. Although he endured such an environment, it seemed that the rumors finally reached his superiors, and he was fired for making advances on the intern without any retirement pay, with only 1 month left until his retirement. Let's keep the fact that I had called at that time, hoping that something like this would actually happen to ourselves, shall we? My little taste of vengeance was over, and everything was over and done with. Or so I thought.
Hey!
What the? Who better to show up at my part-time job was Maki, the one Masahiko had an affair with.
You freaking ruined my life, you goddamn bitch!
Hey, Maki, explain all this!
What the hell?
Apparently, after that phone call, Masahiko invaded Maki's university straight away.
What is it? Why are you angry, dear Masa?
Don't freaking call me that, you cheating whore!
What?
Masahiko ignored what he did to himself and yelled on the university campus with his face all red, calling out that Maki had cheated on him. As for Maki, before she met Masahiko, she told her boyfriend that she had gotten pregnant and he ran away from responsibility. She hid the truth from her parents and went to college and went on a few internships. She eventually met Masahiko, whom she discovered would come into a lot of money.
I'm not getting any money, alright?
And thus, Masahiko explained the whole story to Maki.
What? So you won't get any retirement pay, inheritance, or anything?
That's right, I ended up shouldering even more debt just to marry you, damn it!
I don't care about that. What are you going to do?
After that, the two of them were making a lot of noise on campus, and so the university security guards dragged Masahiko away. It seems that the university found out about her situation because of the argument in a public place. Maki thus found it difficult to stay at school and decided to voluntarily drop out.
How could this have happened?
After that, Masahiko, who ended up in debt, and Maki, who had a child that wasn't Masahiko's, started fighting constantly, and they got divorced after a short while. What goes around comes around, I suppose. Meanwhile, because I've been constantly bettering myself for Masahiko's sake, I've been dubbed a beauty queen even though I'm over 50. I kept a journal about how I do it, and it caught the eye of a big publisher, who has now published a book. Thanks to my part-time job, royalties from the book, and the alimony, I'm living a fairly comfortable life. What you do will come back to you, for better or for worse. Your efforts are never wasted. Even if you don't think it was for your own good at first, your efforts will come back to you someday. I believe that these efforts will render your life more beautiful in ways you couldn't have even imagined. Stay beautiful, folks.